Hi, everyone. This is Kari, and I'm here with Cheryl and Colleen. We're the Consistently Creative Crew, and this is our first Wednesday of the month. I cannot believe it's already September. We are wrapping up our home inventory challenge from last time and moving on to our family recipes. So just to recap what we did last month is we did a number of things with looking about capturing photos around our home and belongings that were important to us, things that maybe passed through from a previous generation or given to us by a special person in our life, commemorating a special event. And many people who were here took some photos, shared their stories, and we all found it very helpful. We learned a lot from other people, not just about their life, but about things that were important in their life that were like, hey, that was actually important in ours too, and maybe we should capture that. This was all spurred on because a Forever ambassador spoke at Forever Live this year in Salt Lake City about losing her home in the Altamira, California fires earlier this year, and she lost everything. And she was so happy that she still had images and photos of a lot of the family heirlooms and furniture and paintings and things that were in her home because she still had the stories and was still able to share those with future generations. So I know a few people here actually did do a couple of additional, took some more photos. So did anybody do anything that they're able to share at the moment or willing to share at the moment?
I'll share.
Okay. You have a photo available?
Let me get onto my Forever account and I can show you. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this. I was doing recipes. Okay,
All
let me
good.
share my screen.
Okay.
Tell me when you can see it.
I don't think you've started sharing.
Yeah, we're not seeing anything.
We're not seeing anything yet.
Okay, let me do it again.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
So this is a picture I took and I put a little story about it. This is designs that my husband and I put on our many years ago, our wedding registry. And we got both stainless and silver plate. And so we actually got well, we didn't get anything that we didn't get from our wedding over the years. We added to it until we had a full 12-piece set, serving, 12 serving set of the silverware. And I actually looked it up online today to find out what exactly the pattern was called. And I went to replacements.com and I uploaded the picture and they came back with the names, both the stainless and the silver plate. And I kind of vaguely remembered the names, but I didn't know exactly. But when they said what they were exactly right. So this is one picture I took. Um, that was from before. I think I have to go backwards. I took this photo. I got this document in Washington, D.C. It was empty. And I had somebody at work who knew how to do calligraphy fill in our family tree. And I gave this, and I framed it and gave it to my mom for Christmas one year. And she's passed away now, so I have this hanging up, and I hope that someday I'll be able to fill in the rest of the names because I probably have them all now, the blank lines, but I'll have to find somebody who can do calligraphy. Anybody know anybody? And then the other one I did was this picture, and it's not a very good picture because you got the light shining in from the front door, but this is a watercolor painting that I purchased when I was visiting Kari in Houston. We went to, was it an art fair or what?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was the
So
Arts Festival.
So anyway, that was the other one that I took.
Nice. Very nice. And the family has a history of irises because our parents had irises growing in the backyard, and we've all got some of those irises in our own flower
Ever
beds.
since I
Wow.
remember, we've had
Yeah.
iris.
So anybody else have anything that they can share? Okay, well, I will share one thing that I put up in mine. So this is a little, can you see it now? A
Yes.
little dachshund statue, and it has a dog tag on it. So this was my husband's dog growing up. And he had a little dachshund, and these are those dog tags. And so we have had lots of conversation about Pretzel, who was a really, cute little dachshund. I never knew Pretzel, but when Becca was little, this statue used to sit on her grandparents' fireplace, and it was just at the right height that Becca could like touch it. And we would always tell her she had to be really careful. So she would just tap the head and pat it and say, "Good dog," as she was walking by. So it was always very cute. And I think the fact that we still have it and it brings back, memories of him having the dog and then our daughter patting the head of the little statue. And there's a book that is all about Pretzel. It wasn't about this Pretzel, but the dog's name was Pretzel. So we've got that also. So that was one of the things that I've captured since the last time.
Nice.
So, well, I guess I could have kept on sharing. So, uh, what I was thinking about for tonight is kind of just recapping last month a little bit and talking about some family recipes, some ideas of what to preserve and some tips. And then we'll do some hands-on time like we did last month. And if you don't have recipes and you have something else to do, that's fine. I just appreciate you guys being here. But I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas because I'm thinking about, I'd like to turn some of these ideas and tips into like a small postcard kind of image that we can just save, and I can have it to pull out and refer to because I think like last time we got some additional ideas. I think that's always helpful. So, I think there's something special about food. We gather around the table or at a restaurant enjoying times together, and when we're enjoying good food and time together is really a priceless time for, entertaining, socializing, interacting with people. And it's a good way to preserve family history. And there's many, many people I know who have recipes that go back a generation or more. And some of them are from different cultures and different ethnic foods and different things like that. And many people can remember how a certain loaf of bread smelt in when it was baking, or how pies would smell when they were baking. I mean, apple pie or pumpkin pie, you can kind of remember some of those smells. And those things bring back a lot of memories for people. And they also, you know, connect you with things that happened in the past. So we have a lot of things that are tied to food, and there's a lot of stories behind them. So who here kind of has a memory of somebody who made the dish that everybody remembered and talked about, saying, "You've got to make that again this year for whatever holiday"? I mean, I think that's a fairly common thing. You've got to make, that those specific, my sister had to make cinnamon rolls every year at Christmas time.
They
And
were butter pecan rolls.
oh, butter pecan rolls. Sorry. Well, they had the cinnamon. That's what I cared about, is that they had the cinnamon and the brown sugar wrapped up in them. Um, so anybody remember a specific dish that that was made that you kind of associate with a certain family gathering or anything? Yeah, Colleen.
In my husband's family, my father-in-law, they at Thanksgiving they have dressing balls.
Mm.
So
Oh,
they take white bread and they tear it up to small, and they add in turkey liquor. So the
Oh,
juices from the turkey as it's cooking, no alcohol involved at all. And then celery, butter, onions, and some seasoning. They mix it all up together and then they form small little balls. So it's very unique. And so we started having them at my husband and I's Thanksgiving. And then my brother-in-law and my sister came and they're like, oh, these are great. And then the next year they went to another sister's house and he's like, where are the dressing balls? They're like, oh no, that's the other side of the family. Like, so, but we have shared that recipe far and wide for people who they're like, wow, that's really unique. And it's just different. And it's nice that it's now and now my sister whose husband loves them, they make them every year at Thanksgiving too.
Oh, that's awesome. So not only have you shared it from one family, you've passed it on and expanded it into more people. That's great.
Yep.
I love that. Any others? I know there's a few other people here, but all right. So some things that you can preserve include like handwritten recipe cards. Now, if you have recipe cards and they're not handwritten, that is fine too. There is something about having a relative's original handwriting on some cards, which I think is really awesome and amazing. It's another connection. And we also have cookbooks. There are some cookbooks that have been around for a long time, and there's certain cookbooks that have very specific colors on the front cover that everybody recognizes, the red and white plaid kind of color cookbook. There's also different family cooking styles that we have that people follow depending on what kind of heritage they have. I mean, a lot of different cultures have very unique styles and ingredients that they use kind of repetitively in a lot of recipes because that's what was natural to them wherever they resided. And so some of those turned into family dishes that they continued to preserve and cook throughout the years, even when they may have migrated to a different location. There's also an interesting thing to have a picture of a finished dish that you actually prepared, because I don't know about you, but when I'm looking through a cookbook, I am drawn to what the picture of the made recipe looks like. Now, they can sometimes take those photos much better than I can, even though now there's a lot more people taking pictures of their food, you know, what angle and what lighting and what to put behind it. But having a picture of the dish and what it actually is supposed to look like when you're done can be really helpful to people. So even if you don't have a recipe, sometimes we have pictures of food that we've actually prepared and made. So a couple of tips is try to lay your card out flat on the table. And the same thing is true with a cookbook. So the flatter you can get it, the easier it's going to be to read the text that is actually on it. If you cannot get that book laying flat, there's a couple of ideas for doing it. So some people, instead of taking a picture of it, will take a scan of it. So you could do it on like a printer scanner. You can also use, there's a couple of apps that you can get on your phone that will take a more of a scan to it and will flatten it out for you. So it will avoid the bowing of the center of the book if that's an issue. But use good lighting. And so sometimes our cameras on our phone like to put the flash on, which sometimes will get a glare depending on if the page was glossy, you might have a glare on it. So one of the best recommendations I've seen is to actually do photos near open windows, well, not open to the outside, but with the sun shining through the window so that you get that extra lighting that shines from an angle and you get less glare. Don't forget to capture the front and back, especially of some of our recipe cards, because they were continued on to the back. And that's one thing that I've seen a number of recipe cards, and it's like, wait a minute, you only have the ingredients. You don't have how to cook it or what to blend first or anything like that, because I think sometimes people either didn't take a picture of the back or they thought, oh, nobody needs to know that. But sometimes it's important in the recipes. And when you're saving these recipes like in your forever storage account, having a short description provides some context to people because they may not realize that this is the recipe that everybody really wanted to have all the time. And giving them, that context really helps to add some value to it. So I'm gonna pause in just a few moments for people to take some time to take some photographs, upload some recipes. And as we've done before, and everybody here knows how to do that, you can add them to an album, you can use a tag, you can add descriptions, something like family recipes or something else that's, might be helpful to you to be able to remember and find it again, because that's really part of the goal is while we're uploading these things that are important to us, being sure that you can find them again and that somebody else would be able to find them in your account. So anybody have any questions? All right, so I think we should pause the recording and we'll spend some time working. So we've just spent a while working on some family recipes, some photos. We've already had a couple people who had to leave, but they had gotten started, which is awesome. Terry told us that she got like 47 recipes uploaded and over the past 10 years into her account, which I think is fabulous. We've had a few conversations about photos and tagging and metadata, which is always good. So does anybody have any recipes that they, what did you capture today? Was there something that was meaningful about it? What do you think somebody else might do in the future? And I'm happy to share mine first. I probably should have just kept sharing my screen because I could move it back up there. So I had this recipe of my husband's mom's that she had, and you can kind of see at the top, she didn't know how to spell rouladen. So I had to go out, I went out to the internet to find out how to spell it, but it's German beef roll-ups and her ancestors were German. And this was one of those recipes that my husband wanted to be sure that he got from her at one point in time, I think when we moved down to Texas. And so this was one of her favorites. And this definitely is dated because this was the time when recipe cards, you could get them from, I think it was Current Stationery Company, and they came with the imprinted photos or images there, and then they were lined, and you could get some that were like two-sided with lines. You could get some that were like double size, so they were for longer recipes. So this is definitely one from that time frame. And I had another one here, and this is interesting. I had this cauliflower and cheese soup, and I had the back side of it, so I ended up renaming it. So I made certain that I have side 1 and side 2 so that I can actually make certain that I know which one, what this recipe was, because there's some other recipes in here with her handwriting. So I would be not sure how to find them again or know which was side 1 or side 2. So does anybody else have anything that they want to share?
Do you want me to share a couple of mine?
Sure.
Oops, I shared the wrong thing.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't click the right screen before I clicked share. And
Oh, nice.
so this is what I did with mine, my favorite recipes, and I put them in a notebook that kind of bends, the cover. It's a 3-ring binder, but the cover bends, so it'll sit upright on your counter and you can look at
Oh,
the
yeah.
recipes. And I
Yeah.
put them in page protectors to keep them from getting ingredients all over them, and the flour flies all over the place and whatever. But these are recipes that came from my mom's 8th grade home economics class. And every year at Christmas time, she would make these, both of these. And what I probably ought to add to this one is when I was a kid, my brother and I were kids, and I don't remember this, but she said it happened that we would help her with these cookies, but our hands were dirty. So after we went to bed, she would remake all of our cookies and decorate them just like we did and then throw ours away.
And I
So
obviously don't recall that, but
No, you don't recall that. But the other one that I have, which is kind of a corollary to this, not the top half, but the bottom half of this one. This also came from her eighth grade recipe. Um, and she used to, this is my mom when in 1944, I think, and this is my uncle who was older than my mom. He served in World War II, and she would bake him these cookies and send them overseas to him while he was serving. Um, so I just remember that story behind this particular recipe. And as a matter of fact, it wasn't too long ago before my uncle died that I made these cookies and sent them to him for Christmas.
I remember that.
Wow, neat.
Carrying those traditions on. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And my
So I
daughter
don't
has
have
made
the,
those. Becca has
really?
made those. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do have the original pages that she wrote them on, and they are so stained, from using them all over. And I don't know if I have a copy, but I do have them in the recipe book in the page protector. I
That's
ought to make
awesome.
a copy. I ought to scan that and put it in here somewhere. But
You should.
anyway, I like the stories behind them.
That's awesome. So anyone
I can
else?
share mine
Awesome.
if I can figure it out. Let's see. Hold on. Recipe page. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I don't know how to do just one image. Oh, wait.
Just click on it.
Okay.
Just click on it.
So here's the first one I scanned, and you can see my mother-in-law's handwriting. It's very,
Oh, nice.
again,
Oh,
those current or whatever
yes. Yeah.
card
Yeah.
holders. And then here's the,
I have some of those.
yep, I have the back. So then here's another one later. Look how used this is.
Oh, yeah.
It got a little bit too close to, I think the cookie sheet got placed on the recipe card. And then
Well loved.
the last recipe, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, so there's 3 recipes on here.
There was one above it right there.
Okay, yeah. Then here's and there's just a difference in her handwriting.
Oh, yeah.
She made a mistake in the temperature. But still, Sharon recipes, she was a home economics teacher. So
Awesome.
tons and tons and tons of recipes. So it's cool. I can tell stories about them. I just wrote brief descriptions.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome.
Stop sharing. I don't know how to
Thank
stop.
you.
What is it there? Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Well, here we go. Not to be outdone by my sister. I found this one. Hopefully, can you see? Or
Oh,
do I have the
cute.
black bar? So this one, so these are those 2 recipes that Lynn was talking about that were in my mom's home economics class. And when my mom was dealing with having cancer near the end of her life, she, I believe, had Lynn put these together on a nice sheet of, Christmas holiday stationery, and wanted to give this to the nurses who were taking care of her as she was going through cancer treatment. And this is one of the best signatures that I have of hers. So I want to capture this so that I can do a couple of things with it. But I had been thinking about this one earlier. I could not find like my original scan of just the page itself, but this one came out of a scrapbook album. So I have that. So but I really love the fact that it has that information, like Lynn said, that this was from our 8th grade home economics class, and it has our mom's signature. So really special.
Nice.
So I really appreciate everybody doing this. I want to remind you that there are a couple of forever items that utilize recipes. And I know I've shared before that Forever Towel that has a recipe card, and it's intended for you to take a scan or a picture of it. And this area that where it says Aunt Melanie's fruit cakes or fruit cookies right here, There are a couple of different designs there that allow you to change the size of the recipe card. So if it doesn't fit perfectly in the original design, there's a couple of different options. And they all have the background with the pots and pans and knives and oven mitts and things. And the other thing is the Forever Recipe Book template. So I was looking at this because of milestones coming up next week. And the pages in this are just gorgeous. They are so well done and really streamlined to put your recipes right in and put photos in. There's a table of contents page already designed for you. And in the back, there is a measuring conversion chart that's already pre-printed and ready to go for you if you wanted to put that in your own book. But I was amazed when I was looking at this template how gorgeous it is. So for those people who design an artisan, you can do all of these things, but I think the people who were designing this to just do it on the website, Create and Print platform, did an amazing job of having it so that you could do this just on the website and don't need artisan. So I think it's
Is that
fabulous.
available now?
It is available now. I'll hop on to my Forever account and just show you because it really is amazing. So Create and Print, photo books. It's just down here. Well, I'm going to go to my saved. Oh, no, hold on.
I saw it.
Recipe.
It's down a couple on the right. Keep going.
There
Good.
it is. So you can see when I scroll through the pages. So this is like a table of contents. This is one that has a couple of photos in it, but it also has like a notes over the top of the one side. It also has near the top on the left-hand side some information about what category it might be in. So if you wanted to do that, they have this where you have one big photo on the one side, so a couple of different designs, and then this kitchen conversions is already set up for you. So it's a really nice looking book. And you can get it in hardcover, softcover, various sizes, and both the square format and the rectangular format. So when I saw this is a relatively new one. So I think that this is one that's worth checking out.
It
Neat.
looks really nice.
For the dish towels, you showed them to us before. Do you think it's better
Yes.
to do a scan or a photograph? Does it matter?
I think it depends on which one gives you the best quality image of I mean, if you can get a good image with a photograph, that's awesome. If you can't, I would do a scan.
Okay.
But
I
a
would,
scan, what format does it
you'd
save
still
in?
want you'd still want it as a JPEG if you could,
Yep.
to go in there. And the towels, are the tea towels. And I went in and found this earlier, recipe. And they have two of them. They have one here that you could type in the words. So you've got this one that you could just type everything in, which I thought was kind of clever. And then they have this one that I was talking about. And if you go in and personalize, where I was mentioning, if I click this layout button, you're going to see the box of the photo and the title change. It's got a couple of different options. You see the box gets different sizes. So it gets a little bit bigger each time. So
And the design of the towel is different too, or can be?
yeah, so I can change, you're basically changing the background color of the towel
What happens if you go up higher where one of the
to one of
colors
those
has a design
patterns. I
on it?
don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you kind of get that plaid-ish look. It's kind of soft.
very subtle.
Oh yeah, very subtle.
Because they're trying to not overpower the rest of it, right?
I just thought it'd be a good gift idea for our daughter who, of one of her grandmother's recipes.
Yes. Yes.
It's a
I think
great gift idea.
these are making a great gift ideas. So I just wanted to share those with you guys.
Thanks.
All right, let me see. What else do we have? So I will do the wheel of names because I just want to confirm with the people who did this last time, but love to see people continuing the momentum forward on either of these challenges that we did this past month. I'd love to hear any recipes that you capture during the next month, or if you take a photo of a wonderful dish that you make. And ask family members, maybe they have some recollections on the dish. Like I was sitting here asking my sister all night about things that I didn't recall. So I really appreciate everyone's participation. And last thing, just to remind everybody who's watching the recording that next Tuesday, Forever is hosting a free Milestones virtual event. The recording is sent to everybody after the fact, and there is a special surprise that evening, and I am one of the co-presenters, so I'm really looking forward to that. And if you're able to join us live, it is Tuesday, September 9th from 8 to 9 at Eastern Time. And you can always find the registration for these events by going to forever.com, click on the deals tab, scroll down, and you'll find an icon that looks kind of like this picture, and you can click on it and just register, but it's free. And then a registration for a Zoom link will come your way, and you can click on that and come and join the Milestones Moments event. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Appreciate all the participation and enjoyed hearing about other people's favorite recipes. So thanks so much.
Thanks, Kari.
Yeah, that was fun.